Time to live, time to lie, time to laugh, time to die.
So the end of things is what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, it's kind of been coming up recently. We just end of the school year, and I guess it's metaphorically the end of a stage.
It's definitely the end of a stage. It's kind of the end of everything for me, at least. Not like death-wise. You never know, though. I might be in a terrible car accident.
You don't have a car, so...
That would be the ironic part of it.
That's true. I have a car, but can't drive it, so it's...
Yeah. Have you still not gotten your license yet?
No, there's bureaucracy blocking me from...
What does that mean?
I don't know, but I don't have...
Yeah, you do.
The DMV, man. It actually has nothing to do with the DMV, but it's actually just my mother. She's just like, can't get your license yet until you have a C in algebra.
A C.
A C, and I'm like literally just points away from success and freedom, because that's kind of what a car is. It's freedom. You can go around and drive places.
Or get into a fiery crash and end your life and cause tears and all around you.
I don't know.
Shed the life of an innocent stranger.
Maybe.
Just life will never be the same.
Well, you go like on a memorable road trip,
I would like to do that then. I mean, as soon as I graduate, I'm gonna do that in some way, shape, or form, probably.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe, I guess going to a different place is a road trip. Like it's a road trip with a dog. We've talked about this before. We just go out, and we don't even have to drive on this road trip. We can just walk across the world, not the world, America. But
for some reason, that doesn't feel like a road trip is the right thing, although it's technically still a trip on the road.
Yeah.
I just really associate cars with that.
Well, you shouldn't. That's just ignorant.
You're right. That's my bad entirely. I'm sorry.
You really should just stop taking those ignorance pills, because it's seeping into your personality now.
It's finally taking its toll, I guess.
So yeah. Anyway, time in itself keeps on slipping into the future, as someone wrote. But
I think Space Jam wrote that.
Space Jam wrote that, like the movie.
Yeah.
That's great.
Space Jam was a hell of a writer.
We should just watch that movie right now, like Looney Tunes. And...
I mean, we could, but I feel like that would be an ultimate example of getting far off the topic.
I don't think so, because we could... What's more on topic than Space Jam?
Most things.
I'm pretty sure Space Jam is kind of the milieu for life, It's...
I don't know what that word is.
I don't... It fits.
Alright, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, so... But anyways, I guess I'm coming to the end of things, too. I guess, but I'm more looking forward to it. It was more like I'm coming to the end of a prison sentence,
Your prison sentence being...
I mean, I guess my current situation, I live an exciting life of...
Which is?
Of monotony, and television, but, I feel like once things kind of come to an end, they'll come to a beginning, more or less. Like, I'll flourish in greatness. Or some aspect of that,
Optimistic? I mean, beginnings and endings are usually pretty linked.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe, unless, like, the beginning is the ending of the beginning.
Are you quoting the Smashing Pumpkins?
I don't think so.
Pretty sure they have a song called that.
I don't even know who the Smashing Pumpkins are.
Well, you apparently like them on Facebook.
Do I?
You do.
That's also problematic.
Not really, they're pretty good.
Maybe there's like an alter ego of me just that loves Smashing Pumpkins.
Not the Verb, mind you, the band.
Yeah, the band and the Verb.
Yeah, well, the latter's pretty, like the Verb's pretty exciting, I feel.
It is, just especially when it's not Halloween time. You just go into a store, like, in the middle of, like, springtime, and they just have some off-season pumpkins, and you just go in there and smash them.
Yeah, it's a riot.
With a mouse.
I would imagine.
everything's better with mallets. I think
I feel like you're already. It doesn't. I'd assume you wouldn't know that the off-season pumpkins are gonna be there, so I feel like you were up to no good in the first place if you're entering a supermarket with a mallet.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I was gonna have just like a mallet toss contest in the middle of like the toy aisle, just like chuck them at toddlers or something like that.
That sounds like no good to me. That's definitely what I would consider no good.
See, I don't know. I guess that's just your version of society. You know, I was talking about this some today, like what's really good? Why do we do what we do? You know, and it's, I guess.
I'll let you go on, but I'm pretty sure throwing hammers at toddlers is frowned upon in any real moral code.
I'm pretty sure Africa does it all the time.
Well, Africa has no empathy for other lives.
That's true. Well, no, they have empathy. They just don't have empathy for toddlers' lives. Because I mean, really, what's a toddler going to do?
Especially an African child that's probably going to die anyway, so
it builds
may as well.
It gives them like a sense of hammering character in their life.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. But you know, they grow up, and they have the both metaphorical and the mental scars, and the actual scars, I guess, of mallet toss. You know, they actually making, I think the Wii's making a game off it or whatever, mallet toss. And you know, they grow up. Well, if they survive, but if they don't survive, then the mallet toss is really just a cruel act of just torturing them before they die.
Well, they're going to die either way, but either way, that's just kind of coming to an end of things, really.
I guess it is. I guess everything kind of ends, you know, at one point in that. I don't know. Maybe some things are forever.
What is forever?
I'm thinking like maybe just archetypes, you know, or bond.
Well, until literature and art and the world itself dies, yeah. What's up with that though? What's up with archetypes?
I don't know.
So not literary ones, but psychology and Jung and all that.
I don't know, man. He was a weirdo, but I think maybe
that's
that's
not nice. What?
I mean in the nicest sense, but archetype. I think actually, you know, he wasn't a weirdo. He was correct. I was incorrect in my analysis after brief evaluation because you know, I don't think he has a generic archetype. I think there's archetypes of people, and I've kind of been categorizing them recently and put them in three.
That's just called racism.
No, I'm serious. Three different types of generic archetypes that the archetypes of the archetypes, you know?
What does that mean? Explain that.
Well, there's the way of greatness, okay? There's all the things that fall under greatness or I guess morally goodness, you know? I don't know, not very well spoken, but you know, morally goodness. And then there's, I guess, the way of neutrality, of the way of just not going anywhere, remaining the same. And then there's, I guess, the way of the world of evilness, you know, kind of just the sense of ethically wrong. I think everything falls into those three archetypes, more or less.
You're essentially describing the alignment system of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, man, but yeah. And
I feel like most people, though, would fall into that neutral category.
Which
I mean, how many people do you know that you genuinely consider evil? Or purely good, even.
Well, not even evil, but more worldly inclined, you know. It's like a sense of doing what they, I guess, what they want to do or what they desire to do, you know, not caring about the needs of others, or you know, I guess goodness would fall in caring about the needs of others and furthering others' people, you know, lives and respective fortunes or whatever. But you know, I guess neutrality,
selfishness and selflessness,
more or less, kind of. But you know, I guess neutrality is kind of the most tragic one of them all, because both are kind of a state of living, I guess, a furtherance of oneself. But I think neutrality is kind of just like a state of eternal foreverness, you know. I guess bookending is its time kind of just consists in this muddled state of nowhereness.
What would being neutral on this scale mean, with selfless and selfishness?
Playing Pokemon all day.
Would that be selfish?
No, it's not, because you're not really
Yeah, but you're not taking your time to do something for somebody else.
Yeah, but you're not really taking your time to not go out of your way and make something worse for someone else either, I guess.
That's true. I guess that is...
I mean, you're in your room all
That's
day.
more just kind of floating by.
And you're just like, you can't get past the third gym on, like, Pokemon. And all you have are, like, metapods. And, you know, it's just...
Yeah, you're pretty screwed if you just have metapods, I would imagine.
You're just neutral. You know?
But that, again, would be their mistake. You can't be surprised if you lose with all metapods.
Maybe.
Which is probably a pretty good metaphor for life.
Yeah, life is just a palette of metapods.
Because if you're trying to advance, if you're trying to make something with life, and you're going at it with these kind of blank shells without any real effort, without anything that can... You know it'll do something for you, then you can't be too surprised when you're not really doing anything important, when you're not making an impact on anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going at there. You know, and...
Of course.
You know, I don't know, I guess I don't want this next stage of life, you know, to be a pile of metapods, you know? I don't want that. I want this next stage of life to be kind of like this, I don't know, like this subject of a literary algorithm that's just so great. I don't know, it's like just, I guess it falls under the new thing, just of this thing where a stream of consciousness combines to create a feeling of enlightenment, I guess, within my mind, you know? I don't know what that necessarily means either, don't ask me to elaborate on that. But, you know, I feel like I want this state of mind to continue and grow, I guess, in some state, because I feel like I'm lost, not in neutrality, but in a quasi-neutrality of supposed greatness. You know, I feel somewhat narcissistic saying that, but I feel like there's great things possible in this next stage as, you know, time slips and kind of continues onward. And I just don't know how to seize it, grab it. Yeah.
Well, do you think in this last part you've been using metapods to beat the gym leader?
Man, I can't even get past Gary.
That's not the point at all of that question. Do you think you've been using metapods up till now?
I guess in a way I've been using metapods, you know. They're high-level metapods, but they're still just useless husks.
They're still metapods.
Yeah.
What counts as your metapods? What's been, like, infringing you from achieving greatness in this part?
I don't know. I think I myself am a metapod, you know.
That's depressing.
Maybe it is, but, you know, I can be free and I'd better be, because, you know, it's just, I don't know. I feel like there's a sense of whatever going to happen, you know, whatever, like, just, I can't even imagine it, because, you know, I like to imagine what possible things can happen.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what's going to happen, you know. I was initially, I guess the next stage of my life was supposedly college, you know, going to community college all the way, Viva la Resistance, baby. And, you know, I was initially dreadful about it, but, you know, it's like, oh, community college, but, you know, enough episodes of Community, and, you know, I saw a man walking up the stairs on his hands. You know, that just sold it to me. I was like, these are my people. These are the people I want to be.
I don't think that one guy walking up the stairs of community college on his hands as a whole represents the people of that college, per se. I feel like it's not, like, the common spirit of that college to walk up the stairs on their hands.
But what if everyone did? The what if possibility is always the drawing factor for me, because I mean, like, what if everyone not walks up the stairs and
would that be good? Would that do anything? Would you enjoy that?
It would be something different, you know. It would be out of this realm of neutrality.
Okay, but just because it's different, does it mean that it's not neutral? Because that's gonna be easy to mistake. I feel different and better aren't exactly the same thing always.
Are you making like a smoothie over there? Because it sounds like you're making a smoothie. What? Are you making a smoothie?
I'm not making a smoothie at all.
Okay, it sounds like you're making a smoothie. What were you saying? Sorry.
Why would I choose now to make a smoothie?
That's what I was wondering.
I would be like, yeah, podcasting, but I could really use a smoothie right about now.
I could,
gonna turn this blender on.
It sounds like you're turning on a blender right now.
I'm not turning on a blender. I'm sorry for that illusion.
What were you saying anyways? I'm sorry.
I was saying it's probably going to be pretty easy to confuse differentness with betterness. Like, just because it's different doesn't per se mean it's not going to be neutral anymore. We have to be very careful with what we do and choose and decide.
Yeah, I guess.
Because we could choose equally bad things, and we could get ourselves locked into this position again and again and again if we don't learn anything from, what we've done so far.
But what I've done so far didn't involve people walking upstairs on their hands, man. I mean, this is...
That's what I said, though. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's better.
But it could be, though. It's the what-if possibility. What if, and there's also the guys like, way to go, Spider-Man. I mean, any school that has a person that says, way to go, Spider-Man...
What? Is that story?
I don't know. Well, the guys walk up up the stairs on his hands, and the guy, like, behind him's like, way to go, Spider-Man.
Well, that's confusing in its own right. Spider-Man isn't known for doing that. But nonetheless, still, it's possibly different. But you don't want to just choose any possibility. You want to choose knowing what you know and what you've learned from all the numerous amounts of mistakes you've made.
I have made
to do something better. What?
I've made many things in my life, but no mistakes.
Alright, I would agree with that.
I can't think of a single one. I've made countless errors, but mistakes.
How do you differentiate between those two?
Well, an error is like a thing that I didn't. If I knew how it would happen, I would have made it. But a mistake is like, man, this is just going to be a bad idea, but I still do it anyways. And never mind. I just thought of hundreds of counter examples to myself.
The point is,
the words cooking come to mind, but
yeah, that's bad. But point is, by mistakes, I mean whatever it is that makes the position you're in now, the position you're in now as opposed to what you want it to be.
But what if the other side I want to be is the position that I want to be in there is there?
Well, if that's what you want, if you want Spider-Man walking on his hands up into a college, then that's what you got.
Well, I mean, it's a story to tell. It's a little thing. I feel like it's going to be a place filled with little stories to tell, which I guess is every place, except the place I'm currently in now.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I still have little stories. There's not a lot of little stories.
What if you go and you're still not finding many stories, and you're still finding exactly what you're finding now?
Well, then the world is a screwed up place, then.
Or maybe you need to change your way of searching for things.
How do you even do that?
I don't know.
That's like going up to Indiana Jones, like, man, you're constantly having like your secondary characters die in your movies. Maybe you should stop searching for them. It works for him. He finds the idol. Who cares if someone gets crushed by a giant boulder along the way? I mean,
but how would you not be the secondary character in this situation?
Because I'm taking head of it, and I have the whip, man.
I'm not looking towards the future right now. I'm talking about right now.
But time keeps on slipping to the future.
I know, and we're getting to that. But for now, where you are now can greatly dictate where you are later.
I guess. Didn't, like, Von Gutt say something like the future's layered by the past or something like that?
I don't even know if you pronounced that right, but it's not important.
What was the question? I forgot. I was too busy on my Von Gutt reference.
What was I saying? How are you not just the secondary character getting crushed by a boulder right now?
Well, everyone's the
you're not
primary
exactly where
character
you
of their
be.
own life. If the movie was like Sriracha, the movie, and it was like 15 minutes long before he got crushed by a giant boulder. But this is freaking Indiana Jones, and I'm freaking Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but you're saying that he's always getting secondary characters crushed.
Yeah.
But you're the only one in this particular situation that's not exactly where he wants to be. So I don't see how that's not a form of getting crushed.
I'm
like
Indiana
metaphor.
Jones in a pile of snakes, man. And the snakes are metapods, and I want to get out.
That's a really confusing metaphor, but I'll accept it, I guess. But how did you get into that pit full of metapod snakes? Because you need to ensure that that's a really big mistake. Ending up into a pit full of snakes is not something one does lightly.
That's true.
So you need to know exactly how you got into that pit to ensure that you're not just in another pit with more metapods. Because that's what the future's about, kind of.
The future, yes. I think, that's pretty much spot on. I think that Back to the Future kind of alluded to it a little bit.
I don't think Back to the Future alluded to anything like this at all.
Yeah, no hoverboards either.
What year was that? Was that this year?
It was this year, 2013, I believe.
Oh, well,
I've never seen Back to the Future 2, so I'm not a reliable
How have you
source.
not? Didn't we watch this trilogy? No, I fell asleep.
You fell asleep for the first one, and
Sorry. We're not very good at watching things.
No, we're not. The Blair Witch. We didn't even watch Primer. I fell asleep with that too.
Yeah, you did. You're not good at staying awake.
Well, I usually am, except for when it was with that movie.
Well, you fell asleep during the end of the Blair Witch Project.
Well, that doesn't count.
Hilarity ensued.
I was horrifying myself to sleep, man. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Alright. Still.
It's the house. It's either the house has traveled through time. Is it a distant house, or is it? I don't know. But the point is, I don't know how I got into the pit. I think I just got into.
Well, that's what you need to know.
I guess.
Because if you don't know, what's going to make you... How are you going to ensure that when you see a sign that says snake pit, which are metapods or something ahead, how are you going to know this time? Like, oh, I should avoid this. I should jump over this.
Well, what happens if the entire world was just a snake pit, man? I just got to find little...
Don't counter my complicated metaphor question with another complicated metaphor question. Because we're not going to get anywhere with that. Like a direct answer.
Socrates would argue otherwise, but Socrates, I mean, but...
Why are you pronouncing all of these names wrong? Socrates? There's no way you think that that's the pronunciation.
That's pretty much how it's pronounced.
No, it's not. Nobody thinks that ever. Nobody's ever thought that.
I'm one of a kind, man.
Alright, I don't see have you never heard it said out loud sometime?
No.
Has a teacher never mentioned Socrates to you before?
Well, they whisper it, I don't hear it.
Are they that, reverent about his intellectual prowess? So they're
man.
Socrates. They're like, what, Socrates?
Yeah.
That guy. Alright, I'll accept that, but no, don't say that anymore.
Okay. See, I'm learning new stuff.
See, now you know to jump over. See, this is an example.
This is a snake pit. I guess.
If you listen to this conversation, you're like, oh, I'm still going to call him Socrates, because that's how it's said. You'd be falling into the snake metapod pit of calling him Socrates from now on again. But now that you know, and now that you're clinging on to that idea, now that you know how you felt last time, you can avoid that when you're going into the next part of your life.
I just got a good feeling. I don't know about you. You're going off to New York and having a New York adventure. You're going to slay Godzilla.
Completely alone in a huge city with nobody. Completely alone.
Yeah, that's how George Bush made it. I mean,
how is that an example you want to compare me to?
He didn't grow up in New York. No.
No, he did not at all.
Who am I? Oh, I was thinking of Holden Caulfield, but
how do you? I'm not going to question that at all. I'm just going to accept that as a reasonable mistake.
But no, you're going off on this adventure. Adventure is a story to tell, and a story to tell is at least a sense of goodness. I don't know if it's greatness, but it's something to tell. And I want something to tell. I want to go home to my non-existent Twitter and say, man, this just happened. Not exactly like that, but metaphorically speaking. Something.
If that's your goal, I feel like that could be a lot easier than possible.
Yeah.
But if you're just looking for it with handstand Spider-Man, maybe not.
Maybe not, but maybe he's the key to the puzzle, because I feel like everyone here is just regimented to the structures of how society has crafted them to be, but handstand Spider-Man, he kind of represents this figure of substantiality, I guess, of differentiality, maybe, just of something that's not regimented by whatever society or the men who run it. It's like a gateway into the future. What walk to in my hands, you know?
I think you're placing a lot of weight on this guy that you saw once.
I have a picture of him doing a backflip off like a pole thing, and I'm just like smiling. It's great.
It's creepier that you took a picture of him, I think.
Like he was walking on stands upstairs, on hands upstairs. I mean, he was doing it for. I guess he wanted pictures. Maybe he just really enjoyed it. There was no one around when he was doing it, though. I just kind of walked up to him when he was doing it.
Probably not pictures, then.
He's probably just insane.
No, he was just enjoying himself?
Maybe that's the key to getting out of the pit, is just enjoying myself, is finding a sense of enjoyment wherever and with whoever I am. But, you know, that sounds like it's taken straight out of like a Sesame Street episode.
But it probably wouldn't hurt. I mean, it's easier said than done.
But I guess I don't know.
I mean, I've definitely done that this year to an extent.
Yeah, but if I guess to enjoy yourself, then what's the dream for? I mean,
what dream exactly?
I don't know. Just a dream in general. Maybe I enjoy myself too much already, and just being over dramatized. But you know, I want to have this dream. I dream of dreaming, I guess. You know,
well, dream. Then you'll be dreaming still. I imagine.
Inception level, yeah, but I guess I dream of different things, and that's why I'm excited, you know, about the next stage.
Well, there you go. I guess you just have to make sure that, you know, while you're dreaming of these things, you just keep in mind everything from, you know, now.
Now, like everything from this conversation right now, because I don't think I can remember everything from this conversation.
Well, not from this. I mean, like the main ideas should probably stay with you.
Okay.
The pit, the metapods, but not like everything. I mean, just what you've learned from this era of your life that is now coming to a close. As the season finale approaches, or series finale, depending on how you want to look at it.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. So I'm just going to go to the offshoot series of my life. I guess everyone is, in a way. I'm going to be like the Kramer of Seinfeld. Never even seen those either. Why am I referencing all these things?
James Kramer. You've never seen it. Well, you pronounce Kramer right. That's the thing.
That is.
Plus, things are looking up already.
It is. The future's bright. It's filled with dreams and Spider-Man. I mean, what more can a person ask for?
Well, I don't have Spider-Man. But
I guess you could ask for Spider-Man.
I could ask for Spider-Man always. That's something you have that I don't. I have a city, I guess. I mean, I'm not as happy about everything as you are, I guess.
I don't know if I'm even happy, but
I'm not happy, but I mean, looking up.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say that, I say it without verbal irony, so. I mean, not looking up, but looking
upwards.
Different.
I guess, I mean,
looking
down,
in a new direction.
Maybe down, because I'm standing on my hands.
Yes. Looking down, because, and that's how you have to do it, I guess.
I think the world just needs to
in this case,
stand.
different is good, even if it's still neutral, even if it's bad.
Yeah, because
if we make the wrong decisions, it's still going to be new. It's still nice.
I guess, I don't know we're nice.
That doesn't mean we shouldn't aim for the right decisions, though.
Maybe, I don't know, but I feel like all good decisions ultimately come from bad decisions.
That's probably not true.
In a way, because I guess everything's so intricately linked together. You know, that's like the bad decision ultimately influences the good decision you make. So you can't have a good decision without a bad decision. You know, you're like yang and yin or whatever.
I guess I see what you mean.
Because I'm trying to think of a specific example. Like 9/11, that was a bad decision.
That's
but
probably pretty widely accepted of an opinion.
But the good decision that came out from that was
there's some
the Patriots Act.
Yeah, Patriot Act.
'Cause now,
I know.
now we can be like monitored. This conversation is probably being monitored right now. All because of
Thank God for that. That's a good thing that's happened.
It is, because there hasn't been another 9/11 since 9/11.
That's really true. So I guess we're at the 9/11 of our lives, I guess.
Great.
The planes are going to hit, and who knows what's going to come out when, we crawl out of the rubble.
That's such a great name for an album.
It is.
9/11 of our
But-
lives.
I guess we just need to welcome 9/11 for now.
Yes. I hope the plane's not driven by a metapod,
Let's just hope that it doesn't come to that. But for now, I feel like that's a good closing point.
Yeah.
So everybody out there, make sure you don't just fall into the same snake pit again.